My name is Senna, and I love to talk about politics. Mr. And then your first time subscribe it. But I just want you to do one thing for me, okay? Wa wo hwe me bia no. Comment box ni mu no. Me pesa wo de fire emoji. Oja. Oja emoji no. Fashim emame. Utumi fire emoji no utumi type ya endia no we jai. Now young concept so. Proud to the 2024 elections. Adia bakwa na metaika and say I can't wait to read the reports NPP for be after wamu lusu massively. Reports no obia wamu be blame no for loss no. I can't wait to read that report. Indeed, they lost massively. That time na yenyanto aba. Indeed, NPP lost massively. And indeed, omo babonte beka say wamo reports. Now Professor Michael Kwe and reports no or her so amomo. Ye hear ni mo say reports no ebeba bonten. Em say Nancy no be press conference wamo ka say reports no are ready. Na very typical of the NPP. No be enim. Omo fa report in mra metu Ghana Ghana for yen hu de ma omo lusu ya. Omo say omo fa report. NPP for why? Almost report and you don't live to Yamagan and Libya who a mom lusu ye. A mom fire reports in 2 years, a Ghana for ever see a hood your mulusu ya and fire home. Almost fire reports in 2 years and say, hey, I'm not surprised. That has always been the NPP political. In fact, not only the NPP, but the major political parties in this country. Mulusu ya yana reports from Beson. But Nini Nemuno. Yadanyamiase for people like Global Info Analytics, right? Global Info Analytics send ya mekano omo eje eye opinion every Ghana for inti Global Info Analytics eko krum ene Ghana for kasaye. In fact omo to abama NPP no and omo omo ye NPP for ene ebisa omo. In fact ye beka se Ghana for in fact NPP for ye Ghana for whichever way, okay? Ene ebisa omo say abato na ye to ye no Why no be blame say omo no ma NPP elusu poto sa. Enti say NPP for mo report na mo aye no. Say mo mfa ntodwa na ye ntia Global Info Analytics there no. Ye be hu because mind you Michael Kwe report no it was based on a survey, okay? They were to go around every single constituency and to take views from Ghanaians. And so if they don't want to release that report, now Global Info Analytics for so aqua round, aqua koji or views about clearly no. When they say Michael Kwe report no, it's not really going to be different from Global Info Analytics for there. It is NPP form person be release your media. We have Global Info Analytics for there. We are going to use it. Into no comment box ni mo for eja eto. And I'm going to try as much as possible to see or reason with the figures no, and to see why certain people are being blamed more than certain people. You know, the first person, okay, into the least person NPP for blaming no, Kennedy Agyapong, right? And I'm going to explain the figure so you understand. Into your fan say, ye ne Nkrofo 10, ye ne NPP for 10, kasaya, omumu bakon, say, Kennedy Agyapong, and na womo ebe blaming no, say omulusu poto. Now, say me dream hona me heard the reason why they might be blaming Kennedy Agyapong is. It probably will be for the fact that he told them the truth. Proud to the NPP primary, presidential primaries, no. Kennedy Agyapong went on media platforms and said there was no way Bawumia was going to be able to compete with Mahama because Bawumia has say economy no. Inti DNT and NPP for Ekotoama Bawumia. Inti say NPP ni blame Kennedy Agyapong. Probably they will say Kennedy Agyapong armed the NDC. Because Ninsemo kind of NDC for you so yeah. But you see, and this has always been the problem I've had with the NPP. And yeah, you almost say they are only the intellectuals in this country. And yeah, you almost say Adreno, and you almost petrimu neda. Me and me Ghana no. Sabi Kennedy Agyapong a better me say Bawumia as the vice president he performed poorly. And Sana me who say Bawumia performed poorly. Whatever Kennedy Agyapong talked about was what the Ghanaians experienced. And so if you turn back and then you decide to blame Kennedy Agyapong, you are just someone who doesn't want to accept responsibility. And I've told you, and we are say, Obi biara one person will accept responsibility. Bia we are say for anything. Bia say any pakono unkoso abrabum. And clearly, the NPP, you didn't want to accept responsibility. Inti mo blame Kennedy Agyapong. Kennedy Agyapong didn't do anything. Whatever he said was the truth about Bawumia. Inti said NPP 410. Omumu bako blame Kennedy Agyapong there. Seriously, I personally don't see the sense in that. But that's that. Now, aside that, Nensono, Yebeka say 20, more like 26-28% blame the members of parliament. Inti anonso ye de ba ofa NPP 410 omumu miensa eno na was here running off because they are about 10 into ofa NPP 410 omumu miensa inti ba ku blame Kennedy Agyapong omumu miensa okay omumu miensa blame MPs no omumu miensa blame MPs no right now oba government appointees. Now, so the reason why they'll probably blame the MPs, the passage of the e-levy. So e-levy now NPP MPs because Ghana for near CMP, and you people choose your party over Ghanaians. In fact, to the point where you fought and passed the e-levy. At the end of the day, Emma e-levy no. You were the same people like Afei. Now. Bawumia beka so be cancel 11 no mo san so ka Ghana for say mo be cancel 11. Clearly it didn't make sense. Inti NPP for MPs say you blame me mo nso mudi kan ana mudi say we say you blame me mo what you say. Now the next group of people are NPP for blame me government appointees into omo aya appointee omo as CEOs of state-owned enterprises no. Yes, and on a internal issue. In fact, Vincent Eko Asefua, who is MP for Otafo, MPP for Lusu and Eba Bontin Beka say Oko a forestry commission say or no as MP no nanko Okwako set Okwako the CEO there. CEO no amane treatment ye when treating the ye kra. Ati say inti a lot of people in the MPP accused the CEOs of the state-owned enterprise government appointees no. Say, no, they neglected the party people. Party for no more no more pamiomo. Ati asiye, intino, omonso, ye blame almost, and know ye about 32%. Now, 33% in so, blame me, Dr. Matthew Poku Prempe Napo. Na, moi, MVP for now, my swording. My swording. Mo fan Naponi, I catch him say, Napoya more funny, Pape na no now obetu funds here. Hey, few months to elections. Sometime the NPP for Enya announcing Napo as vice president, as Bawumia's running mate, right? Few months to the elections. Ena Ghana were in serious doom so. And so all we were asking from the NPP was that release a schedule, a timetable, at least for us Ghanaians, to plan our lives. Napo babe jina Ghana for nim katre yen say yen ye per timetable la yanga sa yen konko release ya de to yen fun to fun my Napo has always, I mean, I don't know, I feel like it is either say one, he doesn't know how to communicate whatever he wants to communicate, or indeed he is rude, right? Two things. Either say naturally maybe I know you're rude, but I know who say you won't come in some, and I say naturally no or you rude person. Because Emrana Napoya minister, education ministry no. There was also an issue like that. He wanted to send a message across, but at the end of the day, in Tiasia Ghana for Kokunya and say he was speaking against teachers. Say omwa ye call school SS omwa nya de no omo no mo be end up eba be ko teacher training into teachers ne kan asset bebre na no enkrofo kokko interpreting say teachers ne kan na pop so say bebre na no mo abon because obi a na aben e wo SS no na kon say wo ko teacher training. It was terrible. Ati ase inti napo no for long na Ghana phone him say uja ne say won kasa nsem wo be ka no. Mo san so be appointing napo no ye na ye tin nsem wo kan e. Ene Kwame Nkrumah ne kra no. Mo Kwame Nkrumah kra ene Nyankopon kra nya ne de. Ze Nyankopon kra wo dai. So over 30% of you are blaming Napodia. Well, I mean, I'm not going to fault you guys. Now, aside that, 37% blaming Dr. Bawumia, and rightfully so. You see, I feel say, the Amwa Bawumia, Kasa when they were in opposition, right? When they were in opposition, Bawumia had all the solutions. The solutions to solve Ghana problems, their financial problems, their foreign exchange, maybe. But on mobile, we saw what happened. They took it from 4. The dollar was at 4 cedis. They took it from 4 and they ended up at 15. 15. But even with that, Bawumia no catch Ghana for say and no rate no better. NDC for buy no more be fire from about 1 cedi, 2 cedi to 4 cedis. Bawumia catch and say Omomo from 4 cedi to 15 no better send the NDC buy our mobile. Clearly it didn't make sense to Ghanaians. Okay, Intino Bawumia was already fighting a lost battle. That is why me can't say NPP for Belu support all. And most of them knew, but not Takashi, Yenfa Yeninsi, Sony, and you say, oh, say, and then Omumi. The next person I will blame me, Kenufuyata, Unim Adia. Adia Yapan say, Obia. This is okay, so this is the first time. Obia directly, NPP4 don't have a say in his appointment directly. NPP4 they didn't have a say in his appointment. And then ye blaming to say he's a major reason in here NPP4 Mulu supporter Kenufuyata. Because Kenufuyata was not an MP. NPP4 and Abamano or your minister, President Akufo-Addo and a Seletino. In the history of this country, his own party people, MPs, rose up against him. Eka said Kenufuyata on free her. President Akufo-Addo didn't agree. But last minute, we all saw the skirmishes that happened. And so about 40% of the NPP people are blaming Kenufuyata. Say Kenufuyata ne ye or Kahubi no Mulu supporto. Enyama wo ye no. And I agree. And then rightfully so, Nipakwe was a wamudi blame ni na kokomano. President Akufo-Addo. Inti ende, ayame wama say, aside sad data we are enam krom no. People like Afenyo Markin are still going round and they want to still paint the Akufo-Addo picture as a picture that as a Akufo-Addo was a good man and Akufo-Addo governed Ghana very well ni nhune so that. Because I'm saying say Afenyo Markin kasa was say President Akufo-Addo ne legacy so and NPP4 Edibe winning elections, the next election 2028. That's what events saying Afenyo Markin walk. And so it looks like I don't know whether he's still in a state of denial, but data netre said President Akufo-Addo na mo blaming no more. And so if you still want to build the party 2028 party on his legacy, then MPP you continue to be in opposition for a very long time until you realize that listen, let's step away from the Akufo-Addo legacy and try to let Ghanaians know as listen, sa Gen Z is a new generation our mo aba no. Enya nsem na mo beka no mbeti omo de omo hu ye no. And clearly they saw what Akufo-Addo did. And so there's nothing you can tell them ebema wo mu trimu no mo hu ne say President Akufo-Addo was a better president. They've seen it, they saw it. Muntre mo adwen with us.